comic with Bane, like whatever.
Oh, I didn't even press the button. Okay. That's odd. Okay, we are live. It's weird. I did not press the button this time. But we are live. Hey guys, welcome to the Superherocuts podcast, where Rich all things Marvel, DC, and Star Wars. It's your boy CV Hayes, joined by my co-host, my counterpart, my brother Jerry. How are you doing, my boy?
Yo, no cap on God, for real. I am fucking. I gotta stop cursing.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
I'm great. I'm having a late brat summer. Things are great, and no complaints. How are you?
Good, bro. It's been a great day, man. Some Star Wars news has me very happy. I'm not even gonna hold you. So I'm in a good mood, man. Star Wars is looking like it's trending up for me at the moment. So I'm happy. Watched Penguin again today.
So good.
And I'm just enamored with the it's art. It's a work of art. I'm just enamored with that show at the moment. Yeah. And so I'm really excited to talk about that. But we have some pretty cool topics. But obviously the main topic today, we are talking about a lot of DC stuff. So the first 6 to 7 topics is all DC. So we're going to talk about the DCU, what's going on. Jerry has a rant that is on the way. So be prepared for that one because that's going to be hilarious. And we're just going to talk about some DCU stuff for a little bit. So Jerry, I wanted to start off with Superman because I meant to put this on the docket last week, bro, but I totally forgot. So I want to talk about Mark Waid. So he talked about James Gunn's Superman, and so I want to read what he said, and then I want to tell you what a lot of fans have talked about, and then I want to hear your view, and then we can talk about it. So this is what he said. I have got a good feeling about this movie. I mean, I like James Gunn. I like his reverential approach this dude talks weird. I like his reverential approach by enlarged to this kind of stuff, and reverential without taking it too seriously. I mean, the movie has a dog in it, a super powered dog with heat vision. So it's not anything from Zack Snyder. And if you didn't understand what that means, Mark Waid is basically saying that James Gunn's Superman is very different from what Zack did. And a lot of people, Jerry, were very angry about the fact that the first thing that Mark says is that it's very different than from what Zack did. And how they went on their whole, you disrespected Zack Snyder, blah, 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 blah. So, Jerry, I want to ask you first off, why is it so important that James Gunn's Superman has to be different from what we've seen in Henry?
So I was just posting, gotta let the people on Threads and X know, no cap on God, for real, a real rant.
Oh God, Jesus.
I'm gonna say that thing so many times. Anyway, so it's important that the DCU Superman is different than the Henry Cavill, Zack Snyder portrayal of Superman, because the Henry Cavill, Zack Snyder portrayal of Superman is an inaccurate portrayal of Superman. Period. End of story. Keep it simple. And I think that aside from the fact that they're doing an accurate portrayal, they are, Superman is still going to be humanized to a degree. I mean, what makes someone more relatable than having a dog? Seriously, everyone loves dogs. You know what? I'm not even going to go there, but if you know me,
just go. Just skip it. Just go. Just keep going.
Okay.
But just know, Jerry, I know what you're going to say. And
I know you know exactly what I was going to say. And so I think everyone knows what I was going to say. But
you are unhinged.
Yeah. Except for the people that would have been offended by what I'm going to say. They're probably like, say it, Jerry,
right?
Say it.
Right.
No, I'm not going to say it. Okay. So anyway, listen, I think it's going to be a relatable Superman. It's going to be a Superman that the world building is so important here, because I think the world building for Superman in a way makes Superman relatable like Peter Parker. You know, they both have a city that they're so attached to. They have a place of work that is a newsroom. You know, so they have the people in the newsroom that deal with the stories about the city. And, you know, Clark has a relationship with his mother that is very similar to Peter's relationship with Aunt May. You know, neither Aunt May or Martha Kent are the biological mother, but both of them are the ones that raised Peter and Clark. So, you know, a lot of people like to make a lot of Spider-Man comparisons. I think the best one is you could find the most related, the best comparison for Peter Parker is his personality is a lot like Barry Allen, but the world building is a lot like Superman's.
You just cooked on that.
Thank you.
Did you just come up with that on your own?
You know, I've known both of them together for a while, but I don't think I ever like put it out like that. But I came up with it on my own. I didn't get it anywhere. Most of the stuff I say, I came up with on my own. I am original, like Dr. Pepper. Okay.
Jerry, you're on a roll today, man. You are on a roll today.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So, and look, I think that this is also good because I love the idea that, you know, Superman is embracing different like elements, and you can even tell simply by the set photos and how just more bright it is. You know what I mean? Like just, you know, because Zack Snyder's SIG is, you know, that dark, you know, camera type of thing. And, you know, I think that what we've seen with James Gunn and filming Superman is going to be very bright and very lighty, you know, type of vibe. And, you know, this is going to be very comic booky. And I do like the word dog. So, Jerry, when I heard the word dog, I thought of, you know, them saying that Superman's a dog, as in like
he's got that dog in him. That
yeah. So I felt like he meant the first dog as like he's like a Labrador. Like they love everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like who doesn't want to pet a lab? You know what I mean? Like golden retrievers and labs are like the most pet friendly dogs. But then when he says the superpower dog, it's like he could also go savage though if you piss him off. You know what I mean? So
I'm a loyal dog owner. I don't care about anyone's dog but my own dogs. Seriously, like just be like, oh, pet my dog. I'm like, I really don't care,
dude. And we will get into a tangent, but dude, I've had to almost, you know, like defend my dog because dogs have tried to like attack it. You and I have talked about that, but I've had some.
I love dogs, by the way, but I love my dogs.
Yeah,
no one else.
But yeah, bro. So I love that word, or I love that word. And bro, something that I really want to see with Superman, which is what I think we are that cornerstone Superman is going to show us, is that, you know, Superman does have a level of self-control, you know, and I think it isn't talked about enough how self-controlled Superman is. And I do feel like Henry Cavill Superman was low-key unhinged. He was kind of crashing out on like everybody. So I am excited to see that level of seeing Superman kind of hold back to an extent, because that is a part of his, you know, his trope is like, you know, he holds back all the time. So I'm happy to see that. But by the way, I haven't watched it yet, but David Cornsweet did a podcast that's been trending around. So I really want to watch it because I know he talked about how he put on so much weight just to play Superman, but I heard it was a really good pod. So
yeah, I got to listen to that. I liked Marvel's podcast up until I couldn't take the hosts of the podcast anymore. I mean, like,
yeah.
And I knew they were full of crap when they were like, oh, I'm so excited for Gagatha. Like, all right, and stop it. Nobody was excited for Gagatha. Literally nobody. And, you know, what was I going to say is I think that I'm tired of the comparisons on Superman where it's like, oh, Superman's just strong and fast, and like, you know, when I think you sent it to me like, you know, he wouldn't be able to hold it against Wanda because, bro, you don't say Superman is just strong and fast. It's like a different degree, okay? And
I never said that.
No, you didn't. I think it was
very
comic.
Yeah,
and I like a lot of his takes, but that one was stupid. And Yeah, there's been a lot of disrespect on Superman lately, and I'm just not standing for it.
Well,
And
yeah.
Superman's not even my favorite. Like I have Superman's when it comes to the Justice League roster, Superman's probably like the middle for me. I would say it goes Batman, Green Lantern, Hal, then John.
Yeah.
And I would put them like as 2 and 3. I would put them above everyone else, even above Barry. Green Arrow, who doesn't really appear on it. And, I have an issue with Green Arrow. I really like the show. I really like the modern comics. But, like, there's a lot of people out there that act like certain things have to be held in high regard. Like, for example, there are some people who are like, it's an OG, like, you have to love the Richard Donner Superman movies. Like,
yeah,
I don't have to love anything.
Yeah, I've heard about
because
that.
It's old and it was iconic at the time. Like, I don't have to do absolutely anything. So the second you tell me I have to respect something, shut the fuck up, okay? And no, I don't, and I don't respect it. And I think Green Arrow looked like a tool. Okay, they made him look with the feather in his hat and looking like Robin Hood.
Are you talking about the comic books?
Yeah, like with the green tights. Like,
oh yeah.
Let me tell you something. Peter Pan's outfit looks terrible, and Robin Hood's outfit looks terrible. Whoever's idea was to combine them at the time was stupid. It was a stupid idea, and because of it, Green Arrow to me was irrelevant.
Yeah,
until he had the modern costume with the hood.
Yeah, Arrow made Green Arrow dope, and we're gonna talk about that. We have all talk about that. So Jerry, can you please table that thought? Because
one more thing, thing, and a bad portrayal of a character could ruin a character forever. Ray Fisher as Cyborg, I hate Cyborg every time I see him in any comic.
Yeah,
they should never let that man on a screen again.
It feels like you're like unpurposely talking about topics that we're going to talk about, dude. You're cooking. That's hilarious. You're leading topics that we haven't saved. That thought for Green Lantern.
I promised a rant, and this wasn't even the rant that I promised.
Yeah, well, bro, save that thought for the Green Lantern talk, because now, oh my gosh, you're cooking right now. But
Burpee cooked with this comment. Seriously,
anyone that holds downers, anyone that thinks exactly, bro. So look, and look, right, because you were talking to, so the reason why I love Superman is because, bro, like, I have a personal connection, because like that was one of the first movies that my dad made me watch. The first cape I had was the Christopher Reeve Superman.
Right,
it wasn't
understandable, but
you know what I'm saying? Exactly, because it was the aura of the Superman that was classic, not the movie itself. And that's what, bro, I think that so many people get mixed up on, is they get like there's a massive gap between the hype of something and, you know, what it actually is. And some of that stuff, bro, is trash. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, like the freaking Donner Supermans don't hold up to any degree ever. So, all right, let's read some chizzy chats here. I'm not sure what to say except Superman Legacy. Superman is not. It is not Superman Legacy anymore. It is now called Superman, but I'm not sure what to expect. Superman is not going to be in origin, and we are happy that it is not that is not. We've got so many origin stories, bro. I am happy to see Superman, you know, kind of already there. He has something going on. I think he's in year 2 or 3, so I'm like pretty excited to see a sort of comfortable Superman. Still trying to, you know, figure out some things because it is a new world, but I am excited to see that, you know, it's not the regular origin. Because not gonna lie, if it was another Superman origin movie, I would have been pissed off. Like, we all know his origin, bro. The same thing with Spider-Man, bro. We don't have to see another Spider-Man origin story. Like, we already know. You know what I'm saying? All right. I feel like with great power comes with great responsibility. Fits with Superman 100%, bro. 100%. The most powerful character of all time, of course. Hunter Iggy, Superherocuts. The news about Batman in the DCU is fake. What do you mean? But because we all know that the Batman is not in the DCU, but he is in Elseworlds, because Elseworlds is its own universe. So I don't know what you're talking about.
All right, I had to.
chill. I am tired of the biased fan base that is Marvel. Well, we are not biased fans, and we love Marvel. So there you go. I feel like we're not getting enough updates on the DCU. James Gunn is cooking, and we just have to be patient. I would have expected a Superman trailer by now, though. That's on. But
I think we are gonna get at the very least a poster by the end of the year.
Or a teaser.
I can't imagine a teaser doesn't come by the end of the year. This movie's supposed to come out in July of next year.
That's all I'm saying.
We're getting pretty damn close.
100%, and we have yet to see anything. And we have yet to see anything. Like, not even an official. We have one official photo, and the suit is dirty in that photo. So it's like, what's going on? Anybody that you already went over that. Shout out to Aaron Fisker for being a pathetic loser.
By the way, that kid is a voice actor, and he has the most annoying voice. He's nobody. This is the guy that said, I guarantee it that WB is going to sell DC next month. This was like,
oh, he's a Snyder boy.
He's like the worst.
Netflix, bro. Tired of MCU fanboys and Snyder cultists. See, bro, there are extremes on both sides. James Gunn, more like James Fun. Yeah. Yo, cool off the James Gunn hate, man. Wait, Elseworlds. Yeah, so Elseworlds is any movie that happens separately outside of James Gunn's DCU. So the Joker film is Elseworlds because obviously it's just a Joker film about a villain. And the Batman and Penguin, those are also Elseworld films, so which means they have nothing to do with the.
If it's not part of the new shared universe, it's Elseworlds.
Yep. DC is less edgy. DC is technically more edgy.
Yeah, I think DC is more edgy.
Yeah, way more edgy. Like, read some Batman comics, bro, and you'll see what we're talking about.
Yeah, or even like edgy. you know who's got a really actually. To Who Freed Rome's credit, lately in the comics, I got to say, Marvel has been way more edgy. But I think DC is about to match that with their absolute universe.
Oh, yeah.
But, what's my favorite comic book run of all time, which is Avengers Saga from Jonathan Hickman, a.k.a. Time Runs Out. Scott Snyder, I think, is just the best DC writer of all time. He took a lot of inspiration from Jonathan Hickman in his Justice League run, which is also incredible. And if you haven't read it, you should read both of those runs.
Fire. What I want is a Super Friends show and Hanna-Barbera. Dude, Super Friends was classic, bro. Classic. But let me tell you this. Who Freedom? Nothing beats that animated Justice League, bro. I'm telling you, dog. That you gotta watch that on HBO or on Max, bro. That show is hard.
The Watchtower in space,
bro. Nothing beats that view, Jerry. Nothing beats that view. Like, that is like 50% of the reason why I would rather be in the league than an Avenger. Not gonna lie, just that view and the fact that they can teleport anywhere on Earth to the tower. Like, come on, dog. That's hard. That's hard.
Yeah.
December is usually when James Gunn's film drops their trailers. I looked at past trailers for Guardians of the Galaxy, and it usually was in December. But remember, guys, that's Marvel, man. DC is on another thing. Also, but now that you say that, December might be the month because Lord of the Rings is dropping a animated movie on Christmas. So that might be the time where we might get a teaser. They might drop a Superman teaser near there so we can watch that teaser when you're like in the trailers waiting for the Lord of the Rings film to drop. They're dropping like an anime style type film. So that might be, you might be cooking there actually. In terms of comics, I've always felt Marvel was more edgy. Need to pick up the one in October. Yeah, man. Absolute is where it's at, baby. Is Justice League, Wonder Woman, Man of Steel, Flash movie, and the Suicide Squad also a part of the Elseworld? No, so this was in. So all of those films were in the DCEU, which is the DC Extended U, which was Zack Snyder's universe, which got ended after Ezra's Flash. So no, that is not in Elseworlds. Is Justice League and Justice League Unlimited? Oh, it's on Netflix too. Yeah, so check that out, bro. Those are some staple shows. All right. Next topic about the DCU. So, we got this news a few days ago, and the news was that there is a Deathstroke and a Bale and a Bane project. And Jerry, don't even say nothing. I know I said Bale. Just shut up. Okay. Christian Bale's on my mind. Pause for some reason. There's a Deathstroke and Bane movie in the works. So, James Gunn and Peter Safran, they are both working on this project with Matthew Orton to develop the script. Now, Matthew Orton, he previously worked on Captain America: Brave New World. He worked with a lot of the writing and all of that stuff. So, Jerry, how do you feel about a Deathstroke and Bane project being in the works?
I love it. They are two of my favorite Batman villains, and dude, like, I know a lot of people like to criticize Bane from The Dark Knight Rises, but it was iconic. It was epic. And Bane is one of the hardest villains in Batman, and so is Deathstroke. This is just going to be absolutely epic. A lot of people are theorizing that there are going to be other villains in this. Maybe, maybe not. I'm kind of hoping that it's just Deathstroke and Bane. I don't think that the spotlight should be shared beyond them. I just don't think that there's another, like, Deathstroke and Bane teaming up makes sense. Obviously, it could make sense, especially with, kind of an alternate version of the Secret Six. But I just think that Deathstroke and Bane working together is enough. They don't need to add any more. And I think that would be perfect. And I really, really hope there's some kind of scene with Santa Prisca, the prison that Bane was in. I mean,
you got to have that in there, dude. You have to.
You got to have it in there. And it just looks so cool in the comics. Like, if I were ever to go visit a prison, I would want it to look like that.
Yeah. So dumb. If I was to visit a prison, you crack me up. Oh God. Yeah, man. This, like, usually with villain stuff, I would get pissed off, but I mean, I actually am very happy about this, bro. But my theory, I guess, that I'm throwing out there, just in case if it's right, I can bask in this, is a little more different than yours, because what I've been kind of thinking of is that, I think that this is the perfect chance to put other characters from the Bat family in these projects, because I can see this being a close up on Bane and Deathstroke. But what if you get something with maybe Damian Wayne and Nightwing going up against them at the same time? I think it would be a very interesting and new and fresh way of doing villain-led films, because you were giving the number one other side characters to a main character a chance to maybe be the hero or even be looked at as the opposition in a freaking story. But I think it would also be something really cool to help build out the universe and push the story forward about what's going on. But, like, to have a hero in it, and we are seeing the hero from the villain's point of view, aka someone from the Bat family, I think that is just golden in my eyes.
So if someone else is going to take down Bane other than Batman, it would have to be either Nightwing or Damian Wayne Robin. No one else from the Bat family, I'm pretty sure, ever has. And Bane is just like, dude, he's just such a big deal. I'm so tired of the Bane disrespect. Like, get out of here. Bane is the man. Deathstroke is pretty savage too. So, like, this is the kind of movie. Listen, I hope, actually, I don't know if I want to see Nightwing take down Bane in this movie, but if there is any hero other than Batman, I would. And I'm a big Damian guy, but I just know the Nightwing action against either of these guys would be incredible. Phenomenal. And I love that. And I don't think this is a mistake. Like, I think that James Gunn is thinking this way. I think he is picking villains, and I think he's making choices based on action and spectacle. I just do. And I think it's smart, because that's a big thing in these movies. A lot of creators overlook it. And, listen, I love James Gunn, but that's one of the things I think he also kind of overlooked in the first Guardians of the Galaxy. I always hated that ending scene against Ronan being like the dance off from Footloose, but I always thought that was kind of silly. Like, bro, let's see an epic face off. But James Gunn's made up for it, especially in Guardians 2.
Oh, Guardians 3. Oh my god.
And 2. The final fight
crazy.
scene in Guardians 2 was also, but obviously Guardians 3 just takes the cake.
Yeah.
So listen, I think these things are important. There's another rant coming later on another DC villain. If you know me, you already probably know who I'm talking about. But listen, Deathstroke and Bane are incredible fighters. So this is a movie that the action and spectacle is guaranteed.
Exactly. And bro, I also like the possible buildup of, right, we're going to get Brave and the Bold, which is our introduction into Damian Wayne. And a lot of fans would assume that Batman's going to be the guy that Deathstroke and Bane go up against, coming from like a casual fan, you know what I mean? And for them to see like, oh, Batman sends his kids to go like handle his light work, like, you know what I mean? It's like, it's kind of cool, but then hold on.
I don't know if it's going to work out that way.
No, I'm just giving a potential thing. But like for a casual fan to see, oh, Deathstroke and Bane aren't light work. These are worthy characters to go toe to toe with Batman himself. And I think to involve, as I said, a Nightwing or and Robin, dude, I would be so ecstatic. But we shall see what happens. But regardless of if they're in there or not, I know that from a lore standpoint, I think it's going to be massive because there's so many avenues that you can go with both of these characters, and you can connect these two characters to a lot of things as well. And that's what I really liked. And I hate I'm bigging up this, but what I really liked about The Dark Knight Rises is how they connected Bane to the League of Shadows, because like, I mean, coming from a fan, I wasn't expecting that. Like, I really wasn't expecting them to put that connection in there, and that connection basically made the whole relationship with Bane and Batman 10 times more deep than like it ever was. So I expect that movie to, really dig deep into what, like, even if Batman is not in it, what about these characters connects them to Batman in such a deep way? And I'm excited to see that unfold on screen. So yeah. I'm really excited, bro.
I just started rereading the Tom King Batman series. I'm already on like the 10th issue. I've ran through this.
You're going crazy, bro. I love it.
Bro, I love that run. And, the Bane parts are crazy. And it's just like, they both had tragedy in their lives, in their upbringing. So, like, that's why that line, you were merely born in the dark. You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it. Like, it resonated so well, and it's still so iconic today. When I watched The Dark Knight Rises, I was a Batman fan, but like, I didn't read comics at the point in time, so I didn't really know what to expect. But I knew of Bane because of Batman and Robin, and I was like, I'm glad to see that we're going to see like a real Bane, and not like, I'm not going to use the word I was going to use because we'll get flagged, but just imagine a really offensive word, and that's the word I was going to use. That movie was just so bad, and I think The Dark Knight Rises did justice on Bane, but I'm happy to see him again. I definitely want to see a really comic accurate Bane and Deathstroke. But the one thing is that Batman would never send Nightwing or Damian to fight either Deathstroke or Bane without him, because Batman is always like, it's too dangerous, I'm going to do it, you stay home. And then they end up there anyway.
Unless if he's somewhere else.
Yeah, but Batman is always takes the route opposite of putting the Bat family in danger. He never wants to put them at risk. He's always okay with putting himself at risk before them.
Yes, but I could see a possible thing where Nightwing and what's his name? Nightwing and Damian just go, dude. They don't care, bro. Like, well,
that's what I'm saying.
Damian
they go anyway.
Damian doesn't give a darn, but
Batman won't send them there. That's the big difference.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, look, they're there are some really cool. There's so many stories that I just hope to see play out in the DCU, and I really hope that. And this is kind of like something that I've always aspired for with Marvel.
Yeah, go
Like,
ahead. I'm hearing.
I hope that the DCU has multiple significant storylines going on at once. Like Marvel, sometimes they go off in tangents, but there's never a significant storyline that's taking place other than like for right now, it's the multiversal saga and like leading into the incursion. They have all these random projects that like are inconsequential. Like it would be cool if some of them had a significant storyline that could lead to a crossover movie that isn't necessarily an Avengers level event type of movie. Like that would be really cool.
Quick question. Do you think that Thunderbolts is an example of that?
It could be, but I don't think it is because we haven't seen any story really lead into Thunderbolts. And it might be maybe once we see the movie, but like they haven't laid any groundwork for us going into Thunderbolts. And because of that, right now, I would say no. We'll see what they end up doing because we haven't seen the movie yet and where it's going to go. I think it could potentially go there, but I doubt it because I think if they were going to do that, they would have laid the groundwork already.
Well, the groundwork is all the shows that they did, like Hawkeye and Captain America and Falcon and the Soldier and all of that stuff. You know what I mean? Like that would technically be the groundwork. And then my whole thing is like, Brave New World is, which we're going to talk about in a second, but the Brave New World is the Serpent Society, all that crap, and we're going to dig into the Super Serum. And then I thought that the Thunderbolts is kind of like an extension of the BS that's been going on behind the scenes with all that crap.
I think Falcon and the Winter Soldier was to establish Sam Wilson as Captain America, which is kind of funny because they really had they did a much better job of it in the funeral scene with Steve Rogers, Joe Biden looking Steve Rogers giving the shield to Sam, and then they did Falcon and the Winter Soldier, which was like such a flop. I think it's underrated, but
Carly just destroys the show for me.
Yeah, Carly, the monologue. I mean, there were and like Isaiah, they should have done more with Isaiah. Like, if they want to do all these other movies, like that would have been a cool movie.
An Isaiah Bradley movie?
Yeah. Like if they gave him his own movie, like that would have been epic. And it could have been retro. It could have been now. They could have done so many things with it, but they didn't. So, and with the Thunderbolts, some characters we've met already, but there's no real groundwork to the actual story of the Thunderbolts movie. They just introduce characters. That's not laying groundwork leading into a story.
Yeah, I mean, I would push back that the groundwork is that we got most of their origins, and I do think that a part of the Thunderbolts coming together does seem a little messy. I will agree with, because I really don't think this movie was in plans for them for a while. And I think that they just saw the opportunity to go in with the street level stuff, and they went after it. But I feel like there was a little bit of groundwork laid for the origins of the characters, because I do think that film is going to be very successful, bro.
I do really too, but that's not there was no groundwork in terms of the narrative and the plot, is what I'm saying. And I think that's what's needed to have a significant story outside of the main central narrative. And they could have done like what they really should have done with the Thunderbolts. And I'm about to cook so hard here, and I'm going to tell you I'm going to cook because I'm not humble. They should have, and I really want to see Armor Wars. I really hope they put it out. But what they should have done was canceled Armor Wars and kept Rhodey involved, introduced the MCU, and it doesn't have to be Willem Dafoe, introduced Norman Osborn, and had Norman Osborn do the hostile takeover of Stark Industries, and then do the Thunderbolts movie. And I get it. They would never want to call it Dark Avengers because they don't want to have another Avengers
That
title
would have been hard,
running.
though. That would have been hard, dude.
But they could call it Thunderbolts and just be the Dark Avengers, okay? And
Yeah.
that's what they should have done. It would have been epic. People would have lost their minds over it. And listen, I'm not trying to write ideas for Marvel, okay? I am just a podcaster, and but they have creatives there who are like real creatives, like real brilliant people. And when you see Marvel take L's and you know the level of talent they have at that company, you just have to be like, WTF, man. Like,
Yeah,
come
exactly.
on, get your stuff together.
Yeah, exactly, bro. And also, like, you know, I agree, man. I think that, and I think it's still low key possible for Norman Osborn to pop up in this film. And if he does, I will tip my hat to freaking Marvel for doing that, because this is the perfect chance to do it, bro. This is the perfect time to bring in someone like freaking Normal, and then going into freaking Spider-Man 4. That would be awesome. So hopefully they can. Hopefully they will do something like that as well. Because I mean, look, it's the perfect time. But yeah. Anyways,
no, real quick, there is a storyline in Marvel that leads into the Dark Avengers where Norman Osborn does a hostile takeover of Stark Industries. It's insane, you know. And in the comics, you know, Tony is obviously involved and he's there, but you don't need him to do the hostile takeover. And they change the storylines based on the characters they have all the time. That's what they did with Infinity War, and it's the greatest comic book movie of all time. So
yeah, that's better. Yeah, and then dude, so in the animated Spider-Man show, they did a whole like 10 episode like gap where it was just Dark Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
And basically Norman was Iron Patriot, super fire.
Yeah.
It's always fun when you like get to see cool stuff like that come to screen, bro. You know what I mean? Because it's like, bro, like that'll be fire. Let's see. Because there were so many comments. Oh, you guys ran with what I said with Bell. Oh my god, you guys are such trolls. Christian Bell confirmed. I can't stand you guys, man. I think it makes sense is rated R. I don't think it would be though. I don't think a Bale and Deathstroke, a Bane. Oh my gosh, I don't think a Bane and Deathstroke film would be R, because they do want to reach kids. They want to reach the younger crowd, because they're the ones that are going to say, "Mom, Dad, take me to see this." Until James Gunn confirms or denies, I'm taking the Deathstroke and Bane team up with a grain of salt. See, I would have taken it with a grain of salt, but the Hollywood Reporter said this, bro. And when a big dog like that says something, you know, it's true 98%.
And if it wasn't, I think James Gunn would have debunked it by now, 100%. Which he usually does when it isn't.
Well, they could take the Bat Family. They could take on the Bat Family one by one up to Batman or die trying. That would be fun.
That would be sick.
That would be awesome. Who should be Dick Grayson's wifey? Are we talking about who should be? I don't know.
I would say a normal female that's like not super.
I mean, obviously we want Starfire. I mean, obviously, but a cool actress that, you know, cares about the content, you know, like Rachel Brosnan. That's what we need. Cast more people like Rachel freaking Brosnan who cares about the content, bro. Like, fun fact about her, she was literally talking to reporters, bro, pulling up to news places. Like, she's like, that's the type of commitment that we need in these films. Okay. I'll say this though, if Deathstroke and Bane is like the Joker movie, I'd watch that instead of a team up for the DCU. Okay. Oh yeah, Deathstroke and Bane. One of my sources mentioned that I wonder who's going to be the villain of the movie, even though Deathstroke and Bane are villains themselves. Hey, could be the League. Who knows? Yo, Deathstroke and Bane versus the League would be fun though. Ain't gonna lie.
Or Amanda Waller.
Whoa. Because James Gunn is doing a Waller series. Oh, whoa. That's a good idea.
Amanda Waller is she goes against everyone. She's got balls.
Yeah. By the way, Viola Davis is like the perfect casting, bro. I'm happy that they're going to keep her, bro. She's such a great actress.
People sleep on Amanda Waller. She is such a great character, and like the brilliance of Amanda Waller is like there's so many good uses for her. Like, we're going to see a lot of her in
heck yeah.
I have a feeling she's going to be a Loki type character that we're going to see so many different variations to the way they use her in the DCU, and she's going to be around for a very long time because of that.
And bro, and Jerry, I hope that they make her the most vile, annoying character, because I would love for like her to come on screen and fans boo. Because Amanda Waller used to piss me off, bro. Like when she would pop up, because you would know it's some BS that's going on, because that's just who she is. Like she's always one up on everybody, bro. Like she's even called Batman a few times. Like she's a savage, bro.
Yeah, she is a savage.
MCU is going to need to reboot because it's going to bleed so bad. Oh my gosh.
I hope. By the way, I saw people are saying like they think that the entire OG6 of the Avengers are going to be recasted after Secret Wars. So be it. Let them. They're going to need, like, the MCU is going to need Iron Man again. They're going to need Steve Rogers again. They're going to they need a new Hulk like yesterday, okay? Because Mark Ruffalo is just the biggest bust of a character of all time. And, new actors are going to take the role. And I'm not saying we need to, say they're great immediately. They're going to have to earn their respect, but let them. Yeah. I mean, and we have to view this like the comics, bro. The story's going to go on regardless of who's in the role. You know what I mean? And that's how it happens in the comics. Sometimes there's a writer that's on a comic that you really like. And guess what? They move on and they write something else. And then sometimes they get a new writer and he's great too. Or sometimes they get another writer and they suck. Like that happens. Like when Dan Slott took over Fantastic Four for a really long time and everyone stopped reading it.
Facts. If a villain has a movie, they need a hero to have some sort of commentary or reflection. Yeah, and that's why I think it's perfect to put, Robin and Nightwing in that John. And because I feel like The Boys, one of the biggest strengths of it is you were able to see the heroes from a civilian standpoint. If they're able to do something like that, that would be so creative. I think that it depends on the villain, because Penguin works really well. Penguin is great. Norman Osborn, the Thunderbolts would be crazy. All right, I'm gonna read a few of these and then we're going to move on to the next topic. What if Nightwing appears in the Deathstroke movie and they could set up a Teen Titans movie with Nightwing and Robin versus Deathstroke? Would also be all freaking awesome, bro. Would also be awesome. If villains get their own movie and they're fighting another villain in that movie, they're no longer villains, they're heroes. So I'm pretty sure that's going to happen in the Deathstroke and Bane movie. I disagree. I don't think that will be the case at all. They're definitely going to face off, but I don't think James Gunn is going to want to change the view of them being a villain. I just think we're going to understand them a little more. Nah, Team Babs and Dick. Oh, please don't go down. Please don't go down that road. I need Starfire, but who knows? They might do that. It would be cool if we see Batman and Robin versus Deathstroke and Bane 100%. Hey, same thing with Suicide Squad. They were bad guys. Now they're good guys. Yeah, but we don't want Deathstroke and Bane to be good guys. We want them to be bad guys because that's what they're made as, bro. And they play best as that.
Yeah.
Who would win in Bane versus Deathstroke? Jerry, who you think will win?
I would say it's really tough. But I would probably say that I just think that like Bane is obviously stronger, but Deathstroke is, he is a really strategic fighter and he could outmaneuver. And I would say it depends on the situation. It's really tough. I mean, this is like, if it depends on the circumstances, because if it were like one-on-one or no prep time, as people have to say, and they're like kind of squared up, Bane. But, if there's room to move around and utilize the environment, call back to Ra's al Ghul in Batman Begins, always know your surroundings, Deathstroke would win. Yep, 100%. Here's the thing. If we get a rebooted Iron Man, it doesn't have to be better than RDJ. It just has to be fresh, new, and different. 1,000%. That's a great point. It has to be good, though, and the actor has to earn people's respect. And that's one of the things I don't think people understand. Like, if they recast a character as big as Tony Stark, like, that actor is going to have to, people are going to be like immediately like upset, like, oh, no one's going to be as good as RDJ. Well, guess what? They recasted James Bond after Sean Connery, okay? And it went pretty damn well. I'm not saying the first recast or the second recast were great, because I have problems with both George Lazenby and Roger Moore. But Timothy Dalton, Pierce Brosnan, Daniel Craig were all incredible Bonds.
Yeah. And you also and a great example of someone handling a recast is Robert Pattinson. I mean, he got destroyed on the internet for being Batman. Look, guys, you did not hear Pattinson comment once. You did not hear him blame the fans. You didn't hear a word out of him. The dude just went to work, and his work showed. And that's what I think, makes recast work, is if you shut up and you do the work, then your work will speak. But what happens is we have so many people in our society that love to talk. And, one of the things that my dad taught me, right, is to have thick skin. You know what I'm saying? Like when you are in the public, have thicker skin. And that's why Jerry and I, we get so many hateful comments on TikTok and all this stuff, but we have thick skin.
Really?
On TikTok, yeah, we getting cooked for our things. But I delete a lot of them because a lot of them are like pretty either racist or Anyways, but like we have thick skin because we're public, and and I think that Pattinson showed a great example of that. Pattinson said, "Yo, I'm gonna shut you up with my work," and it shut up everybody. So it can work. It's all about the actor, bro. It's all about how the actor acts.
Yeah. And to the haters, it's easy to be a nobody writing a comment. You got something to say, make your own podcast.
Exactly. And if you want to throw shots at us, I mean, come on the show, which I've invited a lot of y'all on, and y'all don't respond back to me when I say that. So it's whatever.
I'm not gonna say it. I'm getting good at saying it without saying it.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Who would you guys cast? I'll be honest, bro. CJ, I haven't even thought that far of who I would cast, but I think Mads would be the perfect Deathstroke. But that's all I got right now.
I really like Joe Manganiello. I think he would make a great Deathstroke.
He looked the part. Oh my god, he looked just like him. But really, I think Mads Mikkelsen will be freaking. Oh my god.
Yeah.
Dude. With the eye patch, he's perfect, bro. He's perfect. Yeah. As Bane, I think Batista as Bane, bro, would be fire. He's a great actor.
I think he could do it. I like Batista. Didn't he say? Who did he say he wanted? Who did Batista say he wanted to play?
What if Superherocuts? What if theories?
He did say he wants to play Bane. And he has a good relationship with James Gunn.
Yeah, it's possible. White blonde Aquaman is throwing shade on TikTok. What? CJ Mitchell.
Can you expand on that? Who from?
Yeah. CJ Mitchell for Deathstroke, Manu Bennett. I'm gonna search those up. What do you guys think about Bane as Kilowog?
I just think that I would like to see him in a bigger. Listen, I love Kilowog. I think Kilowog's a great character. I just don't think Kilowog is going to have that big of a role in the DCU.
Yeah. All right. Now let's get into. Oh God. Okay. Now I'm going to X out the screen for about 5 minutes. All right. But I'm going to give you guys some context, and then I'm going to let my co-host here get into it. So, in regards to Mr. Freeze, Matt Reeves debunked it. He said that it would have been he said in his words, it would have been an interesting idea, but there's no way that Mr. Freeze did it. So, Jerry, I'm going to exit the screen for a little bit, and I'm going to let you.
I hate Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze sucks. He is one of the worst villains ever, and we're going to get into why. Matt Reeves is smart. He knew Mr. Freeze is not a good choice. But Matt Reeves isn't alone. There's a reason that Mr. Freeze is very rarely seen. He's rarely seen in the movies. He's only been seen once in the biggest joke of a Batman movie that ever existed. And he is almost never really seen in the comics. There are a large number of Batman comics always releasing. It's obviously, if depending on the time, the best-selling character, or he's the second best to Spider-Man. So they are always releasing Batman comics. And, Mr. Freeze, why does he suck? Why don't the creators like to use him? Well, they obviously don't like to use him because they don't think he fits the mold for a villain that sells a compelling story. And he doesn't sell a compelling story because he is a one-trick pony. All he cares about is saving his wife and whatever he needs to do to keep his wife safe in the frozen tube that he keeps her in. I did recently see, a story that was kind of a little different, and he somewhat teamed up with Batman in the new Detective Comics. But, I just think he's a boring villain. His powers are corny. He's a corny character. And all he ever goes back to is, that he cares about his wife, Nora. So, I don't know where all of a sudden people decided that they like Mr. Freeze, but it seems like and this is what kind of got my radar onto the fact that a lot of people on the internet pretend they read comics. A lot of people are like, oh, Mr. Freeze should be the villain. Like, oh, I love Mr. Freeze in comics. Like, no, you don't, because you never see Mr. Freeze in the comics. And if you read comics, you would know this. And if you really read comics, you would know when you see Mr. Freeze in a comic, you're usually disappointed because he sucks. Okay. And, it makes me think that, like, people see, his costume and they're like, oh, he looks like he's got a cool looking costume with the glasses. And, like, he sucks. He's a boring villain, and good villains you see being used over and over again because the creators, you see the Joker all the time because the Joker is an awesome villain. He's brilliant. He's a strategist. He's always 2 steps ahead of Batman, and he doesn't care about anything other than chaos. So, like, good villains you see get used. And these guys, like Matt Reeves, are brilliant. They're smart guys. They know how to tell compelling stories. Hell, The Batman was such a good movie. The only flaw it had that it lacked action scenes, but you didn't really feel it because the story was so compelling. And when it comes down to picking a villain, it's all about picking the villain to tell the proper story, to tell a compelling story. And Matt Reeves is a guy who knows how to tell a 3-hour compelling story with barely any action. So this is a guy that knows how to pick the right villain, okay? And he debunked Mr. Freeze, which, by the way, he could have just waited until the news came out of him picking the Court of Owls, Hush, etc. He was like, I don't want people thinking I'm using Mr. Freeze because that's embarrassing. So he came out and debunked it. So if you see people say they think Mr. Freeze should be the villain, think twice about everything else they tell you because they are dead wrong. They're probably a poser and they don't read comics. End of discussion. Mr. Freeze, you're out. I don't even want to talk about him again.
Yeah, I mean, common sense would say, like, if Matt Reeves' universe is reality, right? Then if it's more of a realistic universe, there's even no place for a Freeze to exist. So it's just like, come on, I mean, there comes a point where, and this is where, as a fan, I even have to check myself sometimes of, like, I want things to happen so bad that I will say a project is bad because it's not what I want. You know what I mean? So, you guys, we have to be very aware that we're, like, controlling that feeling, because we all want things, but, like, we have to look at the stories and be like, yo, is this actually a good idea? Like,
and also, like, if you really do know Batman and you read comics, like, you don't want Mr. Freeze because I don't buy that you really know your shit if you're going to tell me you'd rather Mr. Freeze over Hush, over the Court of Owls. I mean, even, like, Scarecrow and Joker are so much better. And I don't not like Scarecrow and Joker, but I'd much rather Court of Owls or Hush for this movie. But, like, we're talking about the Court of Owls and Hush, okay? And you got people who are like, oh, Mr. Freeze. Like, are you I'm not even gonna say it.
Yeah. Are you dumb?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Are you dumb?
Yeah, exactly. And guys, look, and for the people that don't have time to read comics, right? Check out Comics Explained. He literally tells you the comic like it's like an audio book. I mean, like there are so many other avenues that you can take to understand characters where there are people that break down the comic books for you so you can understand people and you can understand how these characters act. And if you listen or if you read comics, like you would understand that Freeze ain't nobody. I mean, even when I was a kid, like I wasn't begging for Freeze to pop up, bro. I mean, I was more obsessed with Joker. I was more obsessed with Deathstroke. I was more obsessed with just the League of Shadows in general. Had me
And
on a freaking chokehold.
the
There's
one
so
thing
many cooler characters than Freeze, bro. In the Batman U.
And the one thing everyone who likes Mr. Freeze always says is, "Oh, but yeah, have you seen the Heart of Ice episode of Batman the Animated?" If you have one animated episode of television to point to say Mr. Freeze is a good villain and nothing else, maybe it was a fluke. Maybe it was one good episode in TV and that's it. And
who's that guy in the Flash? Captain Cold? Is that his name?
Bro, Captain Cold could be
cooler than he's cooler
hell, but he is cooler than Mr. Freeze.
He is.
You know, I was shocked that they gave Mr. Freeze a One Bad Day. So One Bad Day was like an anthology series they put out a couple years ago, and they gave it to a lot of like Batman villains. It was inspired by the Killing Joke. So like the way the Killing Joke was like, you know, a definitive story on the Joker. They did the Riddler one was, it's not just my opinion, it's a fact. It was the best one. But if you want to like learn about Batman villains, that's a great place to start. The One Bad Day series, and the Mr. Freeze one was whack. So was the Ra's al Ghul one, but that one was because the writer decided to make Tom Taylor. He's annoying because he could be a great writer, but he does stuff like this, and he made Ra's al Ghul an eco warrior. So Ra's al Ghul was like killing CEOs of companies that, you know, he saw as bad for the environment. And I forget if it was Nightwing or Robin, but they even said to Batman, is it such a bad thing if he's killing them because they're bad for the environment? Like maybe that's bro, if you're trying to make the case that killing CEOs is a good thing because you don't agree with their environmental stance, like you're crazy, okay? And you're letting your agenda impact your stories.
Yeah. Also, why would Ra's al Ghul care about the environment? Honestly,
I think there has been something on him in the environment before, but
but no one cares. Yeah, but I'm saying like it don't make him cool, bro. Like who cares about that crap, bro? Like do you not care that he cares about plants, bro?
Bro, it made it sound like Ra's al Ghul can make a really good latte for me at Starbucks. That's what it made it sound like, okay? And but the One Bad Day series was sick. Like it was really cool. The Bane one was good. Most of them were good. The Ra's al Ghul one would have been cool if it wasn't, you know, whatever.
Bet. All right, let's read some chats and we'll get to the next topic. Yeah, way too many people on the internet act like they read comics, but they don't then act like they know what they were talking about. Facts.
That's the most annoying part. Like, if you don't read comics, stop putting your opinions out about what these movies should and shouldn't do.
I disagree. I think you should put your opinions out, but just have the thing of I don't read comics, but this is my idea. You know what I mean? Like because I feel like people should humbly say, hey, I don't read comics, but I think this idea is cool. What do y'all think? And then you should learn from the people that know comics. That's just my view, bro.
Read comics. It's not hard to read comics. Yeah. And that's a fair point. My problem really is that it leads to another thing, is that there is so many people people don't think for themselves. So like they see 2 or 3 people say the same thing, and next thing you know, everyone's like, oh, Mr. Freeze should be the villain. Like, bro, you didn't come up with that on your own.
Yeah.
You have no idea what you're talking about. Like, think for yourself. It's just it's crazy that we live in a world where thinking for yourself makes you a unique person.
Yeah. Century.
Sentry's another perfect example. Oh my god.
If Matt wants to continue to lean into horror elements, I think Mad Hatter would be fun. That would be a fun one. I just like what I like.
Fair.
That's a lot of us in here, man. Okay. Now the next topic. So I wanted to talk about this because you and I talked about this a few weeks back. So we all know that Kyle Chandler is rumored to be taking the role of Hal Jordan, and the Hollywood journalist, The Snyder, he revealed that DC Studios tried talking to 5 movie stars to play Hal Jordan, and they all rejected because they thought that there was too much baggage around Green Lantern with the Ryan Reynolds situation. So Jerry, how do you feel about a lot of bigger like actors turning down the role because of the past?
That's crazy, but it's something we've kind of talked about before. Like,
Yeah.
Does
that shock you?
Yes and no. Like, I didn't think of this, but now that I'm hearing it, it's surprising, but it kind of makes sense. Like, we talked about this with Marvel. I forget who we were talking about with who they were casting at the time, but
I think it was Kang, probably.
Marvel used to be the most coveted roles in the industry, and everyone, it was like, if you were getting to be main character or supporting main character in a Marvel movie, it pretty much guaranteed that you were going to be in a successful movie, a good movie, and you were going to get exposure, and it was going to help your career. And after Endgame, that kind of changed because there were a lot of Marvel movies that got torched. And then there was the Captain Marvel thing where, like, Brie Larson, whose career should have been skyrocketed from her Marvel role, kind of suffered. And, Marvel, it seemed, and now DC is also having that. And I would have expected that more for Superman, but Green Lantern, I guess it makes sense too. I got to say, a lot of the guys that are familiar with Kyle say that he is a great actor, and they are super excited to see him as Hal Jordan, which is reassuring for me. I have said that I didn't really see him as Hal Jordan. I just see him as the guy that they threw the fun coupons at, and then there was another role I forget that was kind of silly. He was in what was the other one I referenced?
Wolf of Wall Street.
No, there's another one.
I forget the other one you said.
Kyle Hal Jordan. Let's see. Kyle Chandler. Okay. Wolf of Wall Street. What else did I see him in? There was another one. Oh, he was in King Kong. Oh, Zero Dark 30.
Oh, yeah. I forgot you said that.
Great movie. But, yeah, so, it's pretty crazy because you would think, like, this is a role that most actors would want. I mean,
yeah,
especially for the actors that want to have a big superhero role under their belt. You're not going to be in the DCU for very long. I don't think. I think they're going to kill him off pretty early, or at the very least sideline him. Based on age, guys. Listen, Kyle Chandler is an older guy. I'm sure they said that they want the Jon Stewart to be much younger, like 20 years younger. So it's pretty, and they were very specific on the ages for the other characters. So it's very obvious that Jon Stewart is going to be the main Green Lantern for the DCU. So, for an actor who's a big actor who wants a major superhero under their belt, and you don't have to have a big time commitment, which a lot of them care about because, it's very difficult with, timing is a big deal with getting roles. A lot of actors lose out on roles because, they can't fit it into their schedule because they're away halfway across the world shooting something for 4 months or whatever the case may be. So yeah, I'm a bit surprised, but it makes sense. So
yeah, I also wonder if the fact that it's a series took away the appeal for a lot of them, because maybe if it was a Green Lantern movie, it would have been way easier to, find a casting. Because
Yeah.
like even with the names that were mentioned, a lot of those guys aren't in a lot of series other than Ewan doing Obi-Wan, but that's Obi-Wan. I mean, it's
Yeah.
Star Wars, it's different.
I
So,
have
I
been
mean, that how much?
I do think there's a trend lately where A-list actors are starting to do more series, but it's
Yeah,
still seen as a step down from a feature
exactly.
film.
Exactly. And I think maybe that's what's turning off a lot of people. You know what I mean? But I'm not shocked, and I did say that, this could have been a potential issue. And I think and I do think that it's kind of weird for people to turn down a role like this, but as you said, like, we can see the point, because I mean, if you guys remember, the reception for the Green Lantern was like universal. I mean, like, the world hated that movie. And it's so bad that Ryan Reynolds to this day still apologizes for it. Bro, even Josh Brolin roasted him for it during their press run for Deadpool. Like, Josh Brolin kept because Ryan kept coming at Josh Brolin because he was in what's that movie? Goonies. Yeah, for
Oh
for
yeah,
for,
yeah.
for, for being in Goonies. And Josh Bro, and he was like, bro, Goonies is like one of the most loved films of all time. You were in freaking Green Lantern. And they just kept going at it every press interview. It was so funny. So, I mean, I see why, but I am partially happy because we are going to get someone, and if it is Kyle, at least from what the reports say, like, it seems like we're going to get someone who wants to act in the role, not someone that's just doing it for a check. You know what I'm saying? And that's kind of what, I think that has also hurt a lot of comic book films, is that Marvel had, like, it has been known from Marvel, bro, that if you do get a Marvel film, you are going to be in the spotlight, but also you're going to get a nice fat check. You know what I mean? And I think that, this is kind of, I think the DCU is kind of starting away from that vibe with, cats, people like Corn Sweat and stuff like that, because someone like Corn Sweat, bro, he needs Superman to work. You know what I mean? He needs this for his career. Brosnan, she needs this Lois Lane role to land. And when you have actors, bro, that have something to lose, like, the way they come to, perform on these films crazy. I mean, even with RDJ Iron Man, I mean, he would that was his first film back for real, and the way he performed was like he needed it, and that's the kind of effort that we need in films with it. So I am pretty excited about Kyle in this. But as you and I said, Jon Stewart is the guy. So that's the casting that we need to be the most, thinking about.
Yeah.
And
And by the
man,
way,
yeah, go ahead.
Jon Stewart is a great character. He was in the Marines. Hal is an Air Force vet. So, that, like, I just like military guys. Like, I like guys with military experience. I think it adds a really cool element to their heroism. And I like the idea that superheroes like add glory and respect to Americans that sacrifice their time and some ultimately their lives in service. Like, I think that's a good thing, and I love that that's going to be a part of the DCU.
100%. I hope that this doesn't happen, but I feel a lot of these actors that rejected the Hal role is because Hal may die in the end of the show. True. I genuinely hope that doesn't happen, because I'm a GL fan because of Hal. Yeah, it's very possible, bro. Are you guys going to read any of the Absolute titles? So, Jerry and I both pre-ordered Absolute Batman, and we will be covering that on this podcast. So, when that drops, please expect us to be talking about each issue. We are very excited to be um covering that. I mean, and just so you guys know, like, we try to cover everything superhero. So, diving into, this Absolute run is going to be so fun for us. So we're pretty
We're
excited.
covering it all. We're covering Absolute Superman,
Yeah, we're
Absolute
doing
Wonder
everything.
Man, and Absolute Batman. And if there is a comic that you want to hear our thoughts on, let us know. Unless it's something whack that's like Mr. Freeze or some stupid stuff, I'm not going to read it. But try your luck. Chances are I'll read it, have already read it, and we'll give you my thoughts. But I'm going to start posting I read comics all the time. I read a ton of comics. I am going to start posting my thoughts on the comics I read on a regular basis. If you're not already following us on all channels, you should, because if you're not, you're missing out. And remember my hashtag, I'm not humble. But you can also follow me on my comics page, Comics Cuts on TikTok. If you want someone that's humble in their opinions, I'm not your guy.
Yeah, guys, look, man, Jerry knows a lot. I myself learn a lot from him as well. You know, I told him the other day, I said, bro, you're the teacher, I'm the student, you know. So I've been learning a lot from him. So guys, please give him a sub and a follow, because bro be dropping gems. I've seen Kyle Chandler from the Godzilla movies, but nothing from these movies gave me Hal vibes. But I trust Gunn. I'm willing to give Kyle a chance. Hey, bro, watch some of his other stuff, bro. You might see something. All right. How are you liking Absolute Power?
You know, I'm liking it. I think it's good. It hasn't blown me away. I gotta say, like, it's cool seeing that all their powers and, you know, Batman kind of taking the reins and taking back. Like, I think it's cool. Like, it's a cool story, and Amanda Waller makes it better. But I think the 4th issue is coming out this week or next week, so I'm excited about it. Are you enjoying it? What do you think about it? You know, I think everyone's really enjoying it so far. Maybe I messed up by not reading the Task Force series. It seems like everyone's really liking the Task Force series. That's tie into the main event. But Absolute Power, I think it's cool. The art is incredible. I like that it has a wider range of characters, and I really hope that they lean more into Green Arrow working with Amanda Waller. For those of you that don't know, Absolute Power is the current crossover event that DC is like literally in the middle of, and Amanda Waller basically uses the Amazons and gets rid of every superhero's powers, and it's been cool. I would give it an 8 out of 10 so far. But yeah, and one of the coolest twists was that Oliver Queen teamed up with Amanda Waller.
Give me that in the DCU, please.
Yeah.
My goodness. Oh, all right. So
I want to see the Shadow War in the DCU.
Oh, that would be fire. We barely seen at all. I don't think I've yet to see it in any animated or live action product. I'm trying to scour my mind.
The Shadow War?
Yeah. I don't think the Shadow War has been done.
Shadow War, it's not that old. I think it's like 2021. But for those of you that don't know, again, it's
I'm trying to think, because did they do it in the animated Jones a couple years back? All right, I gotta look.
Yeah,
sorry.
Deathstroke, Ra's al Ghul, Batman, Damian Wayne. It's a big betrayal story. It's cool.
Yeah, they haven't done one yet. All right, so let's talk about Giancarlo Esposito. So Giancarlo spoke a lot, and we're doing 2 separate topics about what he's talked about. The first we want to talk about, he said that his character in Captain America: Brave New World has power. So I want to just read about. I want to read you guys the character description for that. So we all know that his character is Sidewinder, okay? And I just want to read you guys a quick character analysis here. Formerly an economics professor at a college, he was dismissed from his position, which led him to the Roxxon Oil Company. Little did he know he would be ordered to perform criminal acts for the company, and he took the name Sidewinder due to his power to travel through dimensions and teleport using a special created cloak. Hugh Jones, the president of Roxxon, formed the Serpent Squad and gave the leadership to Sidewinder. Their first task was to find the Serpent Crown, a mythical object, but their plans were interrupted by the Thing and Triton. Though his comrades Anaconda, Death Adder, and Black Mamba met defeat Sidewinder, was able to escape. Later, hear this, guys, Sidewinder invited his former group to join the Serpent Society, along with several snake-themed bad guys. With his economical knowledge, Sidewinder's team of killers proved to be one of the most formidable organizations in the country. However, Viper invaded the group and turned several members against him, promising even larger amounts of profit. Sidewinder abandoned the group and turned leadership over to Cobra, who later took the name King Cobra. Stressed from the life of a criminal, Sidewinder decided to leave the industry, but not without first saving Diamondback from the Serpent Society's death sentence. Most recently, Sidewinder has been seen on TV, obviously, in Captain America, Brave New World. So, number one, I am honestly shocked that Giancarlo is even in Captain America, like from the start. And we all think that Giancarlo is freaking awesome. So the question I wanted to ask you, because I mean, obviously, this whole cloak thing, but it seems like from all the trailers that we've seen, he's nothing like the Sidewinder in the comics at all. So do you think that instead of the cloak, he's going to have the serum? Like, could that possibly be a thing? Or do you think they're going to go more from the comics and give him the cloak where he can like just teleport?
I would rather see the cloak, even though the cloak sounds silly. Like, I don't like the idea of another Captain America movie, serum versus serum. Like, even though it was obviously not that simple, we need the MCU to feel fresh again, and I don't think that's the way to do it. I hope Sam gets the serum. Like, I just want to see him be a savage. And he could flying with the serum, like that would be sick.
Kind of unstoppable.
Yeah. But I like Giancarlo. No, I hate saying no pun intended, because like you have to say it, because if you say a pun and people think it's intended, that's corny. But then you say no pun intended and that's corny too. It's a lose-lose situation. But I like the idea that Giancarlo's character is like a snake. And he's like kind of like a guy that's, moving in a shadowy type figure.
Yeah.
So I like that. I like the sense of corruption to him.
Do you like the possible thought of the Serpent Society having a major role in this film? Because what is coming to seem like, and like, could the Serpent Society possibly be the people that are trying to kill Thunderbolt Ross, which leads him to turn into the freaking Red Hulk? Like, would you like that kind of story where there's kind of a legion of bad guys that are trying to kill?
I'm kind of indifferent. Like, I think this movie is going to be good if it has the Serpent Society. 100%. If it doesn't have the Serpent Society, so yeah.
Do you like them? Do you like the Serpent Society?
Cool. Yeah, they have some cool stories. I like them because I like the Captain America comics with them. I always love it, like I just like the villains that are centered around like Captain. A lot of Captain America stories are unique in comics because it feels like you're reading a secret agent superhero, and the Serpent Society is like a villain fit for a secret agent. And I think that I guess it could be really cool in a Captain America movie, because one of the things is that stands out with Captain America movies compared to every other superhero movie is that they are like spy thrillers. And, even Civil War was that way. And like it's a very unique thing with Captain America. And I think it gets brushed over a lot. Like, Captain America to me is a character that obviously everyone knows and loves, and he's iconic. But when it comes to like talk about his comics and his Serpent Society, it's like you don't really hear people talking about them, but they always sell really well. And so there's always a lot of people reading them, and the characters always performing, but you don't necessarily hear people talk about them like the way people are talking about Absolute Batman right now, for example. So, you know, and we know that Captain America Brave New World gives us the same vibes of, you know, like the trailers from Winter Soldier. So I think it's a good thing. And I think that the Serpent Society being involved could be a really good thing. But, you know, if you don't know the Serpent Society and you do read comics, you're just not really reading Captain America comics.
Yeah. We are overly excited for Brave New World. We can't wait. And we're going to cover the crap out of that film when it drops. Okay, Mando and Grogu. So, Jerry, because you're a corporate American man, now I'm going to give you an example, and you're going to, and I need your answer, and then I'll get into the news. Okay, so let's say you're working with a company, right? If a company tells you one set of news, right, that something is going to be canceled, right, and then a day later you get a second set of news, and different people in that company say that the thing that was canceled is going to be turned into something larger, right? What does it mean about that company, given from the fact that they're telling you two different things?
Two things. Number one, it's a major inconsistency, but number two, it's textbook definition of misrepresentation. You have people that are misrepresenting what your company is doing, and you know, that could lead to major problems. Like, it depends on the context of the misrepresentation, but in something like this, it's not illegal to say we're not making a Batman movie when we're making a Batman movie, depending on who you're telling. But, you know, if a company lied to me in my profession, and that was information that I needed to communicate on, you know, something that was legal financial document, for example, that would be an illegal misrepresentation, and that would be fraud. You know, but if a company is telling, you know, the media, we're not working on an Iron Man movie, and they are, you know, it's a misrepresentation and a lie, but it's not necessarily illegal.
Yeah. So here's what was told. So another big insider, they dropped news, right? And it was pretty much co-signed that, because a lot of the people that work at Lucasfilm liked the post, which shocked me. But basically the news was that Mando and Grogu's film is going to conclude Din Djarin's story as the Mando, right?
So wait. People from Lucasfilm, some influencer posted that Mando and Grogu film can end Din Djarin's story, and people from Lucasfilm liked the post.
Some of the people that work there, because there's always been a division there between those two, you know, or like between the people there. Because if you, all right, let's go back in time. So when Mando season 2 happened, right, and Star Wars Theory dropped the freaking video of him crying, a bunch of people that worked at Lucasfilm roasted him for it, and like just threw shots at him. You know what I mean? And there's always been a weird divide there with the people that just work there, bro. It's been like Lucasfilm staff is like low-key toxic, but topic for another day. And so this news dropped, right, which was backed by some of the people. So then Giancarlo says this, that Dave Filoni and Jon Favreau have a new vision for Mando, okay? And basically, Giancarlo said that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni have a shared idea, and it's happening.
Favreau.
Huh?
You said Giancarlo.
I'm sorry. So Favreau. Giancarlo said that Jon Favreau and Dave
Giancarlo
Filoni.
Esposito?
Yes.
What does he have to do with Lucasfilm? Oh, he's Moff Gideon.
Yeah. So he said that they have a
shared... I was so confused because I was...
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So basically, Giancarlo, he was in a massive like press like interview, and they were asking him about Captain America and the MCU, and then they were asking him about what the plans were for Star Wars, and he said that Jon Favreau and Dave Filoni have a shared vision in expanding the Mando story into a universe where all of the stories going on are going to intertwine into what's happening with the whole Thrawn story. And so what it seems like, if it's true that because you and I covered last week, right? That Rey's film is about to get canned, and we also talked about that. We also talked about that Taika Waititi's film is already canned. Thank God, because we can't stand that man. So what it's looking like is that this heir to the Empire story that started with Mando and kind of ended or is continuing with Ahsoka, because now Thrawn is in the main Star Wars unit. He's in the main Star Wars U again. It seems like they're starting to build off of that, and that they're going to build a massive universe and story with Luke Skywalker and all those people that leads up to that. So, first question for you, bro, is does that make you feel a little more secure that Favreau and Filoni have a sense of direction on where they want to take the Star Wars U for the next while, or do you still feel? Or is there no peace at all in that news?
There's some, but I don't think Mandalorian should I don't think Din Djarin should be the center of the Star Wars universe. I think he is their hottest property right now. But in a perfect world, there would be a central Star Wars story. And kind of like what I was talking about, what the MCU should be doing, the Mandalorian would be a side story that is also significant and have crossover movies.
Yeah.
But I don't see Din Djarin as the central story for Star Wars. I do like the idea that there are other groups other than Jedi that can be heroes, and they have their own religion and lore to the Mandalorians. I think that is really cool, and I think that is something that could be expanded on. I kind of think that the center should be around the Jedi, but I don't like that every time someone says Jedi, it's like, oh, Luke Skywalker. Luke Skywalker is not even that cool, okay? So get rid of
whoa. If you read Star Wars freaking Legends, bro, you would not be saying that.
Maybe, but
there's no maybe, bro. No. If you read Legends, you'll be like, yeah, he's the GOAT. Luke is the GOAT.
That's a problem. That's a problem because Star Wars' main thing are the movies. And if I need to read the books to understand how cool the main character is,
you don't need to read the books to understand. Just rewatch the old films. It'll show you.
Bro, I literally just rewatched them a month ago.
And you don't think Luke Skywalker is cool at all?
Yeah, right.
Because my favorite. I mean, Anakin's my favorite. All right,
me too.
Me
Anakin
is my favorite. And if you watch the Clone Wars series, I mean, come on, Anakin's the dopest Jedi to ever live. And that's just facts. But Luke is him though. Luke is him. But
they could make a new Star Wars trilogy around different Jedis, and I don't even think the Sith should be the villains. You could do the Knights of Ren or something completely new. The Star Wars is such a vast universe, and there's so many different groups and factions, and we just get the most creatively bankrupt ideas from such a creative IP. It's insane. And
but George Lucas himself has said that Star Wars, like the whole point of Star Wars is that the Sky Walkers are all a part of everything, that happens. I mean, that's kind of the theme of it, that from Anakin on down, there's a constant connection to everything that's going on. And if you read, and this is why the biggest L from Star Wars from Disney was decanonizing that, because Legends, bro, has everything. It has all the stories, bro. I mean, it fills everything in perfectly. I mean, bro, Luke has a girl. Luke started having kids. I mean, it went insane, bro. So big L on their part for that. But in regards to Din Djarin, let me just go into how I feel really fast. So, as I have faith in other options, this is the best option because Ahsoka planted, that seed for Thrawn to get back into the Star Wars U. So why not go all the way? This has been a journey since Star Wars, the Clone Wars. We even saw some of it in Rebels and Bad Batch. So why not go all the way? And by the way, with Cal Kestis disappearing soon, I mean, and I think he's probably going to appear in the Mando film. I think this is going to be a really cool thing for Star Wars. My largest thing is that largest thing is that I hope that they get I believe that Favreau and Filoni can land on the content side. They just need creative control to actually do what they want, and to make this work, they have to find a way to make Mando and Grogu about Mando and Grogu, but eventually this has to move to Ahsoka and Luke Skywalker's story. And that's where I think it works. Jedi have to, you need lightsabers for this thing to land. This whole gunslinger story stuff, that's just not why I watch Star Wars. And that's why Andor just doesn't appeal to me, because that's not why I got into Star Wars. So that's kind of where
I actually need to finish Andor. Andor's pretty cool. But two things. Number one, when you said Luke Skywalker, I was like, oh my God, you were cooking for a second. And then you said, why? And the other thing, I remember I said to you that they should do live action Cal Kestis. And you were like, nah, Cal Kestis isn't that great of a Jedi. And
I said that?
Yeah. Yeah,
I don't remember that, bro.
Oh, you were so hell no.
I probably did flip out like that.
Yeah.
That was probably after I played the freaking second game and I was pissed off because it was so bad.
You didn't like Jedi Survivor?
I wasn't feeling it, bro.
Oh, I loved it, bro.
Yeah, and Fallen Order is just goated to me. I think I just had my hopes too high, bro.
What was goated?
Fallen Order, the first one is just goated to me, bro.
Oh, I thought Survivor was so much better.
Really? I might have
the same thing.
I might have to redo it, bro, and just see, bro.
But yeah,
I beat it, bro. I just wasn't feeling it, man. I wasn't feeling it.
I love that game, bro. I think it's one of the best PS5 games.
Yeah. Well, if I did say that, I take that back. I think Cal would be dope.
Yeah, and he's a great actor. And I know you, bro, you sleep hard on Gotham. Gotham is one of the best TV shows of all time. And you know what else people say about Gotham? A lot of people say this. That same actor, Cameron Monaghan, a lot of people say he's the best Joker actor of all time.
I've heard about that. I've heard.
He killed it as Joker. And they couldn't actually call him the Joker because of some, what did they call him?
Some stupid rights that they had.
Yeah. What did they call Joker in Gotham? It was something stupid. I think it was J. Oh, so they called him Jeremiah, and they gave him a real name. Remember, it's not canon. Oh my God, it was so good though. It was so good.
Also, dude, tell me why Slav commented on my TikTok. He said Flash season 1 is better than the Arrow season 1. Slav, stop it, bro. Slav,
that is crazy talk.
Slav, come on, dog. Don't talk like that. Slow down, Slav.
Yeah.
You get too hype over there, bro. Come on, man. Calm down, Slav. I love you, but that ain't it. That ain't it, bro. That ain't it, bro. Yeah. He said the Flash one is better than the Arrow season 1. I counted in all caps. Whoa, bro.
Yeah, that is so crazy.
Yeah, slow down. We might have to bring him on the show to freaking stand on that one.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, just Star Wars, go with it, man. At this point, that's where we're at. All right. Okay. So we're about to review the shows that have been out. So first, we're going to talk about Agatha. Then we're going to talk about Penguin. So just to give a quick synopsis on Agatha and where they're at. So to make a long story short, they went into this house. They faced their first trial. And to make a long story short, Mrs. Hart died. There's a lot of theories to why she died. The theory that makes the most sense to me is that when they went to make the potion, Mrs. Hart didn't rip her hair off, so her bot, like she couldn't, like she died because the potion was not for her. And there's a lot of, oh yeah, Jerry, by the way, Death also was in this episode as well. We got to see Death. And
Really?
yeah, which was, I ain't gonna lie, the scene was dope. So basically, bro, it was like a zombie looking chick and Death was right behind her. It was kind of, it was like super fire, that part. And the rumor going around is that Aubrey Plaza's character is Death. And the whole thing about Agatha with the Darkhold, bro, is the rumor is that everyone's saying, like, in the show, is that Agatha traded in her son Nicholas Scratch for the Darkhold, and that's how, like, the hate for Agatha started. So that was that's been all right and cool, and a very interesting. But the one thing I want to talk about with Joe Locke's character, so he said in the so his name is Team, but we all know who he is, Wiccan. So Wiccan said in the show that everything changed when he was 13. And the reality is that when he was 13, that is when Wanda, that is when the whole Westview town blew up. You know what I'm saying? And so apparently Wiccan has learned all this magic and he's dumb powerful and he's basically playing dumb. So because the thing is that when you get to the end of this road that they're on, anything you want, you will get. And the rumor is that he's going to ask for his brother to come back, and then they're going to free Wanda from some torment that she's in or something. So I think that on a grander scale, if you're bringing back Wanda in this show, I think that's a good option. But I will still stand on the fact that you could have brought Wanda back in a show called WandaVision Season 2. You know what I mean? Where the show was actually about Wanda. So, like, this show is good for what it is, but as a Marvel fan, like, you have to look at it and say, like, yo, like, why do you diss your own hero? Like, why do you diss your main characters? And that's kind of how I feel about it. But other than that, man, Agatha's not bad. If you want to watch it, go ahead and watch it. There are some parts that I don't like, which, for me, I feel like some of the lore seems a little too made up. Not gonna hold you, but yeah. So that's what's going on in Agatha, man. They beat their first trial, someone died, and now they're on the road. So, all right, enough of that crap. Penguins 3. Let's talk about something that I actually love. Or Penguin episode 2. Sorry, I think gotta put Agatha or Penguin. Yeah. Penguin episode 2. So, Penguin episode 2 was another 10 out of 10. Penguin is just on another road of trying to manipulate people. And again, shout out to Colin Farrell. Now, the thing that I want to tell you, Jerry, that I've loved is that Sophia Falcone is trending on X. And a lot of people are posting photos of her putting in all caps, "I can fix her."
That's great. That's so great.
Yeah, bro. Bro, because she fired. I ain't gonna lie. Like, Sophia Falcone is gorgeous, and bro, when the episode opens and she's in, like, freaking Arkham and she's talking to her brother, but then Al gets shot in the head and she's having a dream, and then she, like, wakes up freaking out. I'm like, bro,
and that video or that picture of her in the silver dress from the premiere. Oh my god,
bro,
she's so hot.
But she's low key, like, scary, bro, because you don't know what she's gonna do. Like, she's insane, bro. She's truly insane. And also, how did you like the end of the episode? Because I thought that Penguin put the knife in Vidi's pocket, because obviously Vidi is having the affair with the dude's wife. So I thought he planted the knife on him, but he planted on Castillo. Yeah, and then Castillo got blasted for that. So how did you like that, like, the whole ending part where, Penguin snuck in and stabbed him, and then, like,
I loved it. I just love a guy that gets away with it no matter what. Like, he is the slickest of the slick. He always comes out on top. He's always scheming. Like, bro, that Rick Ross song, "Stay Scheming," like, that should be Penguin's theme song, okay? Like, he is just that guy. And, people sleep on him because it's like, He's ugly. He's got a limp. They don't think he's serious, but he's just always rising to the top. Like, I just love it. I love people like that. Some people want it to happen. Others wish for it to happen, and some just make it happen. And that is Oz Cobb.
And bro, you can also see the genius in how they're painting it, because you see Penguin walk around the house. He sees where Irvad is. He goes to VD and is like, "Oh, so like y'all didn't involve me?" Like, bro, it's smart. It's very smart of like the way that Oz is taking on to it. And honestly, bro, I was shocked that he went back to see Salvatore after all that stuff happened.
Yeah.
And so because and just to make sure, the Maronis did get the drops, right?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. And that was genius too. And like when he was dodging the bullets, like that was insane. Like he's just like, he's like, both of them, they're like, you played me, and he's just like, lets them both shoot at each other. And he's literally just like, boo. Yo, that was wild. I literally was like, holy shit. I rewinded the scene and watched it again.
Yeah, the only fear I have is, what if Sophia planted a freaking bug in his house when they raided his crib, and she's just sitting back watching everything, bro, like behind the scenes?
He'll still come out on top. He'll figure it out. He is that guy.
So you think that this show ends with him on top?
100%. 100%.
Yeah, because now Sophia does not know, because now she's working with him closely, because now they're in cahoots now.
They have established the Penguin as the guy that always wins, no matter what, and everyone in the universe, none of them give him the respect and credit that is level to the level he's at. So everyone underrates him, but he just keeps winning. And I don't think they would have established him that way if he is not going to come out on top of the end.
Yeah. I also love Victor. And I thought it was hilarious when Victor tried to plant the freaking jewels in VD's car and got
what happened with Victor at the end? I forgot.
Okay, so basically, Victor tried to plant the jewels in the car, right? He got caught, he ran off, he escaped. And that's what kind of made like the whole situation kind of hit ahead, right?
Oz was like, change of plans.
Yeah, exactly. And so then they had Oz bury the body of Castillo and Irvad, and then Penguin threw Victor in the hole that he dug and was like, dude, like you almost like cost me like my whole life.
Oh, yes.
And then he put his gun on him, and then Vic was like, yo, like come on, chill.
By the way, when I said Lorenzo Tejada, I was referencing the actor who plays Castillo. In the Power spinoff Ghost, which you have to watch. It's incredible. He plays the dad of the Tejada family, which is like
he's good.
Oh, he's great, bro. That show is so good. I don't even remember because it's been so long since I've watched the first Power, but that spinoff Power book 2 Ghost.
Yeah.
It might be better than the first one. It is it is that good. Like that good.
That's high praise. Praise.
Yeah.
Yeah. So and CJ said this too. Do you think that Victor's gonna die?
I don't know. It's a good question. I
don't think so, dude.
Yeah, I don't think so. I kind of see Victor sticking around. Like I think Penguin is gonna stick around, and I think Victor is gonna be his like number 2.
Yeah. And I do want to see Victor grow into more of like the mobster though. Like because I feel like, and he got that text from that girl, and I feel like whoever she is, that's what's holding him back from really becoming like Oz. And I think that his progression is maybe letting that go, because it seems like, bro, he's still trying to tug on to whatever world he was like a part of, when Oz is like, dude, you're in my world now. There's no going back. And I can't wait for that moment where Victor realizes like, yo, like I have no choice. And I think that's going to be where I think that girl that he's with, I think Sophia's going to kill her.
Interesting.
Because because
it's a pretty big prediction because you have nothing to go on here.
Well, I say this because regardless of what happens, the Falcons did see him run off, and I think there's going to be a repercussion to that, which I think might make Vic either run off away from Penguin because he killed someone he loved, or he's going to just go full just thug mode and be like Penguin and become like him. And what this is building up, Jerry, is low key like an opposite Batman and Robin story, but it's Penguin.
Yeah. You know, I just hope I see that kid shoot an Uzi. I don't know why. I just really want to Uzi. Yeah.
Oh, by the way, yo, the gun that Penguin had when he was in when he was in the drug cart, the drug truck that had all. Yeah, dude, that John, that way that John was letting off, dog, it was smooth, bro.
Yeah. Let's see.
It was a Uzi, I'm pretty sure. But that, bro, the friggin' recoil was smooth as heck, bro. I was like, bruh.
Yeah. I Google Penguin in the truck. I see Penguin trucks.
Thank you, Google. Screw you.
Yeah, screw you, Google.
Yeah, bro. The Uzi he was shooting off was fire, bro.
100%.
So yeah, there's a lot of like good question marks from Penguin, and I literally be sweating when I'm watching because like you don't want Oz to get caught. You don't, and there's so many pivotal moments, bro, where he's finna get caught and he just prevails every single time. But now, Jerry, the only question mark that is there now is what are the Maronis going to do? Because the Maronis do have the drop, but Salvatore's wife is like mad at him because of Irvad. And now that Irvad's dead, like, what are they going to do? Because if they rat on Penguin, I mean, like, their reputation's kind of cooked, right? Because Salvatore is getting clout from the credit to kill Al. So I don't know. It's a lot of moving parts going on. And this show it makes you think, man. So shout out to Matt Reeves for that. This show's amazing. Let's see some comments. I think 11 out of 10. Yeah. Each episode has been just freaking amazing. I feel so bad for Vic because I think he's definitely going to die. We don't. Matt Reeves said he won't appear, but do you guys think the Batman will show up? Nope, not at all.
Definitely
He doesn't need to.
Yeah. Also, keep in mind that James Gunn was like, no more Superman TV. They don't want their premier A-list characters on TV shows.
Yeah. The only news I see is Bruce Wayne returning to town. That's the only thing. That's the closest thing that's the closest thing. The closest.
But you won't see an appearance. You'll
hear it.
That. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Like I can hear something like, Bruce Wayne is returning to town and he's throwing a gala. Something like that, or like he is now the active CEO of Wayne Enterprises or something.
Something like that confirms that he's back in town.
Yep. To me, Vic represents Penguin's last bit of humanity, and I think Vic is going to have to die for Oz to transform into Penguin. Oz is already Penguin, bro. He already is.
Yeah.
Oz is not redeemable anymore, bro. The things that he's done, he's cooked. I mean, he is evil. I mean, look at the things he's doing. Look how many people he's killed, bro. He killed his own men. Like, come on, man. Come on. All right, now, the last topic of the night before we head to bed and get out of here is the Arrow. Because I really wanted to talk about this, Jerry, because there's a lot of disrespect on the Arrow's name. When I was on X last week, I saw the whole thread about people saying that Peacemaker is better than Arrow. Okay, and so Jerry, first off, I just want you to talk about how great is the Arrow show.
Bro, the Arrow show was incredible. It is one of the greatest TV shows of all time, especially the season 1 with the twists and, Oliver returning to why is it
Central? Is it Central?
Yeah, Central City.
Yep.
And the twist with Malcolm Merlin, like that was so good. I mean, it was so long ago, but it was so good. The action was so good. The twists, the turns, just if you haven't seen Arrow season 1, you are sleeping hard. That is one of the greatest shows of all time.
Yeah. And I said this like the other day. Arrow has arguably other than Daredevil, that is the greatest season 1 of all time.
I would
like
put Punisher up there too.
Over Arrow.
I think Punisher season 1 was better than Daredevil season 1.
Really?
Yeah.
Yo, do you know what's hilarious? My friend Brendan, actually, he's in here. He just watched that show. He loved it. He said,
man, bro,
Punisher is great,
especially like the way it ended. And dude, that scene when they come to his like home base with Micro and he just tortures them all, and
it's so savage, bro.
When he shoves the guy's eyes in, bro. That like. I think we need the Punisher back to the MCU just because we need guns, okay? Like, I love superhero stuff, obviously, but sometimes I like to see some gun action, okay?
And we're getting that in Daredevil Born Again. By the way, the same guy, sorry, go ahead.
We'll see, because I guess we'll see it, because if the MCU is bringing the Punisher back, and John Bernthal said he wanted to make sure they do it right before he did it, that means that they're not going to tone down the guns. And I think that they've been hesitant with guns in the past, even though we've seen some guns. Like, I don't think they wanted it for a while. You know, unfortunately, it's become like controversial, I guess, to see guns in movies with some people, which is weird because movies like John Wick and James Bond always do well. But Marvel, I think, had cold feet on it for a while. But if John Bernthal said that and agreed to return as the Punisher, and the Punisher is going to be in Daredevil, that means the Punisher is going to be with his guns in Daredevil. So, yes, Stevie, you are correct.
Yeah, I would have thought the same thing, but after seeing the Echo show and how violent that was, that just gives me hope that Daredevil is going to be even crazier. Because, number one, remember that fight scene with him and Echo? Oh, my gosh, what a freaking – the fight choreography of that was amazing. Yeah. But that show is very violent. And even in Hawkeye, when Echo, I mean, we didn't see it, but she shot Kingpin in the face, bro. Like, I mean, like, you know, like they're actively trying to, you know, make the street thing very violent, and I expect nothing less with the freaking Punisher. But yeah, the Arrow is one of the best season 1 to 5s of all time. Nothing, and what is more fire is that when you watch the Arrow story, the flashbacks are also insane. Like the whole entire flashback with him and Slade building the groundwork as we're seeing Slade enter the freaking story. So you're seeing them interact in present day, but you're seeing how the beef started back in the day. I mean, bro, it was a work of art how they crafted the whole Arrow just saga, bro. It was amazing. And Jerry, I wish, bro, the dude that played Malcolm Merlin, he was a top tier actor, bro. He was a top tier actor.
Yeah,
and he was really
looks like Elon Musk.
He does like Elon Musk a little bit. He does. And when he trained Thea, that was one of my favorite like parts, bro. When he made Thea a savage, and she became a freaking monster, bro. And then, bro, remember when Deathstroke killed his mom?
Yeah. Oh, that was crazy. That was crazy, bro.
Bro, like that show was savage, bro.
The show. Oh my god.
Yeah, you guys need to watch that. I mean, there were so many stakes on the line. And John Diggle, he was also awesome. Felicity, come on, bro. They had a squad back in the day, bro.
Yeah,
they did, bro. They did.
I never finished season 8 or 9 or whatever.
Don't.
Oh, I'm gonna do it.
Oh, good luck. Good luck. And then, bro, Black Canary, bro, when she came, and then Huntress, bro. There's so many gems in that show. Y'all missing out, man. Y'all missing out.
Big time.
All right, so we're going to end the show here. Thank you guys for liking and subbing, man. If you guys have seen on X or on Instagram and TikTok, and Jerry talked about this, we are trying to diversify our content to where, you know, everything's just not the same repurposed clips, because we do clip these for our YouTube, but we are trying to expand that's why Jerry is going to start doing these comic book covers, which I think is going to be freaking awesome. And I'm also, you know, going into just different sides of content, trying things out. So here's what I ask you guys: the things that you like that we do, please like it, please comment, please engage. The things that you don't like, please like, but comment and tell us that it's trash. You know what I mean? Because we want to just bring you guys the best content possible. But yeah, those are just some things that we are going to expand on. And Jerry and I talked about this, and I haven't gotten it done yet, but we are starting a Discord soon. And that is where you will be able to chat with us. We're going to be sending news, and we're just going to be in, like, we want to create a fun forum where we can all just text every day and talk about comic books and superheroes, where, you know, it isn't just a screen and talking, but you actually get to interact with, you know, us. So we hope you guys have a great day. Have a great night. Stay crispy, and peace out.
Peace.